first of all, I want to talk to you about all of your fitness achievements and everything you've done in the last couple of years, fitness-wise. First thing being Women's Health. Obviously, you've been on the cover twice, which is incredible.
I can't even believe it myself.
I know, it's madness. How did you feel when you were asked to, when you, for the first time you were asked to be on the cover, and then how did you feel when you were asked again? What was it like?
So, I've always loved the magazine. It's an incredible magazine for women about all the things, health and fitness, lifestyle, the things that I love reading about. So I'm such a big supporter of it. But I always saw the cover stars as celebrities, and I would never label myself as a celebrity. So I didn't think that it was something that was within reach. I didn't see myself on it. I didn't think it was achievable. It wasn't even a goal of mine, because it was just, we were worlds apart. You know, I'm just a normal girl that has gone on a journey, I suppose. But what's amazing about what was amazing about my cover story, I suppose, is that they started to realise that people actually, the magazine realised that people want to hear about a real story. It doesn't just need to be an A-lister that's been in a movie that obviously, you know, has their own personal trainer. Well, I mean, I had one, and you know, and like loses weight really quickly for a film, or you know, someone that like a lot of people idolise. I think I'm a lot more real, and I think I was the first reality TV star to be asked to be on it, so that was very humbling and incredible. Of course it was nerve-wracking. I think, was it my first cover? I think it was my first cover, and it's the most amazing magazine to be on the cover of. So, you know, obviously I wanted to be in the best shape I could be, but I wanted to have fun with it, and I was really excited. So, also not only that, it was the swim issue. A lot of the issues throughout the year are, you know, girls in gym wear, and I was doing the swimsuit issue.
No. Perfect.
So, yeah, I know. But it meant it was really fun, because we got to shoot in this amazing location house. It was actually in, I think it was in North London.
Yeah.
With a pool, and the team were all really amazing, and they made me feel really comfortable.
Yeah.
It's funny, even though I've been in this world for about 10 years, I still get nervous sat here talking to you today.
Yeah.
But the makeup, the hair and makeup, and you know, everybody that was there was just really, really friendly.
Great.
I just made sure not to drink too much coffee that morning, because that makes me a bit jittery. Yeah, and then I guess the second one, so it was a huge hit. Again, like, I can't quite believe it, but I became really good friends with Claire, who's the editor, and she is such an inspiration to me. She's a strong, independent woman. Like, she smashes everything she does. She's a really good role model, and we had lunch afterwards, and she told me that the cover did really, really well. Like, I'm not going to blow my own horn too much, but it sold really well.
Yeah.
And I think people just liked the fact it was such a beautiful cover. It was yellow and vibrant and sunny, and it wasn't too perfect. It wasn't too glossy. You know, I have really small boobs and, you know, quite a boyish figure. We're all born with, you know, different, unique figures, and I think that they really embraced that, and there wasn't lots of airbrushing. It was just me, and yeah, and people really liked it, so that was great. And then I got the opportunity to do the second one.
Exactly.
Really cool.
It's so nice as well, because you still seem so surprised that it happened. I mean, I remember when it first came out, and I wasn't surprised at all, because I follow you on Instagram and stuff. I'd seen the changes that you made already, and yeah, it just seemed like, oh yeah, that's a good choice. And it just seemed kind of normal and standard. I didn't even think about, oh, is Louise up there with the other people who've been there already? So it's so nice that you're just like, wow, me? Like,
I know, because honestly, really, I guess I was on TV for about 10 years, up until this point, but the fitness stuff all happened quite fast in terms of my transformation.
Yeah.
I was really unhealthy before, for a very long time, like not just sort of diet and lack of exercise, but it was mental and also a lot of alcohol. So then when I did turn my life around, really good things kept happening to me, and it was quite overwhelming. Like, it's a lot to get your head around. Nothing prepares you for that, and I think, you know, I always think this as well in terms of like jobs. For the average person, you know, you work hard at something and then you get a promotion, you get a bonus, you know, you work hard and things happen. I did work hard, but things happened really, really fast, and it was just quite overwhelming.
How did you first come up with the idea? I know it's not just you do it with your co-founder, your partner as well. And what made you want to do it? What were your thoughts behind it? And what kind of makes Pocket Sport different from brands like Gymshark and all the big major labels out there that most people immediately go to for fitness?
They do, don't they? So when I first started out, I was at university, and I'd been on the show for a few years, and it was actually a ladies' trouser line.
Oh.
So yeah, we made jeans.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, that's incredible.
I know, it's been quite a transition.
Yeah, definitely.
So originally it was that because I couldn't find any jeans for small people.
Oh.
And it was slow and steady, and we did pop-ups, and we did trade shows and, you know, fairs that, like, you know, some of my mum's friends would be at. And there was a lot of positive reaction off of it, and we did like a lot of shoots when we were at uni with our friends. It was a lot of fun. So it made a lot of sense to move into sportswear because it was something that I loved. There was a sort of middle phase where we did t-shirts and slightly more merchandisey things, because we wanted to keep the ball rolling and not lose momentum. And we had obviously the connections with the factories and the suppliers of the fabric and people to do the designs. So yeah, we were kind of figuring it out. And then obviously we created Pocket Sport, which is why we added the sport to the end of it, because it was Pocket London before, and we don't want to confuse people.
Okay.
And yeah, now that's my baby.
Yeah.
And it's actually really exciting. It's doing really well. So we've just relaunched our website, and we've got a new collection that just came out, which is the really cool teal stuff.
It's beautiful.
Okay, well, we need to get you in
yes,
some.
definitely.
And I think it's different to some of the other brands because I don't even know. I don't even want to compare it to other brands. It's about, for me, it was about creating really good quality product that wasn't really expensive. And I would rather see a lot of people in it than charge people a lot and see less people in it.
Yeah, it is a beautiful line when I've seen it come out, because you don't have a massive line yet, but everything in there, like you said, is really good quality and really nice. It makes people go, oh, I want that. So it's more about having a small amount of stuff that's really appealing than having a large amount of stuff for people to go, oh, which one?
We've considered bringing in very basic pieces, you know, just like a really simple black legging, and those might sell out and, you know, sell like hotcakes, and we make them even more affordable.
Yeah.
But for us, I think we just really want to build our brand and stick to what we love. But they are very flattering. Everyone raves about the fact because they have a really high waistband. Yeah, which is really good. And also the sports bras are super flattering and very supportive too, which is really good. And also, obviously, we cater to all body shapes and sizes.
Yes.
We've had a lot of people say, oh, but you only got to a large, but because we do the extra, extra small, which is basically made just for me, because I'm literally the size of a 12-year-old boy. The large is actually more like a 14 to 16, but we want to also make an extra large too.
Yeah.
Even on our Pocket Sport Instagram, we make sure that we have just a really wide variety of girls. Like, we should get you to shoot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I did an Insta story actually the other day. It's crazy, just saying, get in touch if you want to do a shoot with us. And we had over 2,000 people saying they want to. So now we have like a constant pool of really nice girls.
Just go in.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we're going to do a massive one as well with loads of girls.
Oh, that would be really good.
And yeah, to have like a fully fledged business, I kind of thought it would be more of a hobby, to be able to help people, you know, share everything that we've learned and our knowledge. Great.
So next is Like Louise, which I'm excited to talk about because obviously I'm part of the community. I've been in it since January, and I've loved it. I've loved being a part of the group. The Facebook group, I find, is the most amazing part of it.
Me too.
Yeah, because everyone's so friendly and nice, and you and Ryan are both so responsive on there, and so motivating.
It makes me a bit emotional.
But you're so motivating, and you've helped so many people, and not just me, but I see so many people on there chatting and just being so grateful to even get a response from you, because people who are as busy and kind of well known in the fitness industry now as you and Ryan, there's nowhere, I don't think, that you can get direct, you know, a conversation with people like that. I mean, you can see them, you can follow them, you can go on their websites, you can watch their videos and their interviews, but you don't actually get any direct one-on-one contact with them. And so it's just a completely new experience, and it's kind of like online personal training but in a massive scale.
Yeah.
And actually, I was saying to Ryan, I don't know how you guys do it, because there's like 4,000 members or something crazy like that.
Awesome.
It's crazy, and you just
we didn't
really
plan for it.
No, I bet, and I bet you're like, whoa.
Whoa, honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine, because it's when I first started, I think it was 2,000. So just in the fact, and since January, it's doubled already. And you're still...
Well, we only launched really around Christmas.
Yeah.
So at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always wanted to do, but because I've been so tied to Made in Chelsea for such a long time, I guess I didn't know I had it in me, to be honest. I think sometimes I'm quite scared of change. So the move away from Made in Chelsea was difficult.
Yeah.
But this year has been my best year yet in life, because I've had the motivation, I suppose, to start this company.
Yeah.
It's been lingering at the back of my head for a while, which I guess is kind of why I wrote the book, and that touched on a bit of my transformation. But I don't get the same engagement with people just through the book. Like, people buy it, obviously some people get in touch and they'll have comments about it, but this is incredible because every morning I get up and I get to read tons of comments, and granted, Ryan is actually better at responding than me because he just is. I suppose I'm slightly busy with doing some other things. But we had no idea that it was going to take off.
Yeah.
And to have 4,000 members in just a matter of months is so impactful. We actually haven't employed someone. Which is really exciting. So she starts next week.
Yeah.
It's great that you mentioned the Facebook thing, because I think that is where we're so unique.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fitness programs out there, and I know a bunch of people because I see them in the gyms, and like loads of fitness influencers live in Fulham. And I didn't really think that it was going to do so well, just because I know other people's that have just, you know, it's great, like they sell a few programs, but I think what makes us unique and so strong as a brand is the fact that we have the ability to kind of create conversation with everyone. And it makes me so happy that people are becoming friends.
Yeah.
People are super supportive. People have met up, you know, in the Yorkshire Dales and are going for walks. People are honestly gaining buddies, and that makes me really, really happy. Because it's so important when you're going through a fitness journey to have a community and a group of people that support you. For me, when I made my transformation, I actually had to really change a lot of things in my life. I had to alienate myself. Yeah. It was really isolating. I had Ryan, who obviously was already there, and like he's at one extreme, so I'm not saying that that's kind of typical, but it was hard. I had to make a lot of sacrifices, and I had to distance myself from people that had very unhealthy behaviours, or, you know, people that I was going out drinking, partying a lot with, and just people that didn't understand the path that I wanted to move on to. I'm so glad that a lot of people are seeing the light and realising how important it is to focus on yourself, because you only have one shot at life. Like, I'm already I'm 29, so I don't know how long I'm going to live, but you just don't know how long you've got left, so why not give it your best shot and be as healthy as you can be? Because there's a lot of like uncertainty out there, and you can't prepare for that. You never know, like you could get fired tomorrow, you could like find the love of your life tomorrow, or get dumped, or whatever happens. But the one thing you can have control over is what you put in your mouth, and also how much exercise or activity you do.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like everyone in the Live Like Louise learns a lot from you and Ryan. And Paul as well, but have you personally learned anything from the group?
I learn stuff all the time. I think the best for me, because I'm not sat in books and I don't have a conventional job, I'm not in an office, I don't have someone telling me what to do all the time. The only way I learn is through conversation with people. And the Facebook forum really is just a constant kind of role of conversation. I love it when people give me recommendations. It's the best thing that I've never seen before. People amaze me. There's a lot of people on there that are actually a lot more informed than I am. Ryan is highly qualified in the PT sphere. Phil is very qualified. Paul is very qualified in the nutrition sector. And for me, everything that I've learned has been from my own experience. So I really appreciate learning from other people's experiences too. It's not just the kind of, oh, you should do this exercise, substitute this for that and whatever else.
No.
It's just learning about people's like lives. And what's the best thing that you've learned?
Best thing that I've learnt on there, you really helped me with the holiday thing. I don't know if you remember, but I was going away. I was nearing the end of my 12-week plan, and I wasn't sure. I mean, I'd lost weight. I've gained a bit now since, but I lost it. Thank you. But I lost a bit of weight. But obviously, the stomach's the hardest area to lose from, and it's where you most easily get bloating as well. It's not necessarily like added fat in your water or anything like that. And I remember posting on the group absolutely at my wit's end, going, "What more can I do?" Because I don't believe in kind of cutting out your food. I know you guys are really strong on that.
Yeah, you can't do that. It won't give you.
It doesn't help.
It doesn't help.
It doesn't help at all. It's really unhealthy, and all it does is kind of make you feel fatigued and grumpy, and if anything, less motivated. I find. I don't think I expected a reply, especially not from you. I think that's probably one of your first comments as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, and it wasn't just you kind of like giving a bit of advice or, oh, you'll be fine. Like, you gave really direct stuff to do. And I did it, and instantly it worked, and it made me feel so much better. It's really good, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Yeah, it really helped. And I've been able to give that same advice to other people as well. So it's that time of year where people are going on holiday. And like, how do I lose a bit of body fat? And I've talked about it on my YouTube as well.
I've seen your videos, really good.
Oh god,
I love it. I love it. You've actually inspired me to set up my own YouTube.
That's amazing. You should.
Yeah, so then I'll post this on mine.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you so should. People would love that. But the whole thing, so I talked about in my bikini reveal video, which is basically more of a build-up and motivator for me to feel comfortable to go on holiday in a bikini. And I feel like a lot of people who watch, people who will be people who are like me, who are trying to lose weight and or trying to feel better in their body and get more toned and get ready for holidays and stuff like that. Definitely.
Because it's contagious, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Like, you want to spread the message. If you gain something good, or maybe it's just because we're nice people, but yeah, if you learn something that's good, you do want to share it with other people.
I talk about it all the time at work. I get sick about it. You ever struggle with motivation? And if you do, how do you overcome it? It seems like a silly question. I feel like, to me, everyone will struggle with motivation sometimes. But as someone who kind of has to do all this stuff and do your personal things as well as this fitness stuff, and like Louise and filming your videos and then your colitis as well, there must be days where you feel, I don't want to do this. How do you kind of get out of that or recuperate yourself so you know the next day you can just jump back into it?
Everybody wants to know about motivation. It's probably the question that I get asked the most, and it's also the hardest question to answer because it changes all the time, and also it's so different from person to person. I think everyone's experience is different. For me, as you mentioned, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis about 18 months ago, and that has slightly changed my fitness journey because I have to be a bit more careful and listen to my body. For example, well, this morning, an example of me being motivated is just as simple as I set my alarm earlier. I'd said to myself last night that I was gonna do some exercise, but I didn't book the class. But I should have booked the class because then I did arm and arm for about 15 minutes. So it was a reformer Pilates class, which is one of the forms of exercise that I love. So I tend to do 3 days a week, and then I'll throw in like a kind of a random form of exercise too. That's one of my favourite ones. I like yoga, and I also like doing Zumba, like really random stuff, just to mix it up. But I kind of followed my typical routine of like letting the dog out and doing all the boring chores. And then I wasn't going to go because I was feeling a little bit ulcerative colitis-y and a bit fatigued, and I had a bit of brain fog and just all of the symptoms. And then I sat on the bed, well, I was still in bed, bearing in mind, which makes it very unmotivating. And And I knew basically that if I didn't go, that I wouldn't be beating myself up about it all day, but I wouldn't have the day where I felt like full of life and energy. I know that if I go, I've already achieved something.
Yeah.
For me, I do it first thing in the morning. A lot of people like can't get up that early, or because of work commitments, they have to train later in the day. I have to do it first thing, and that just sets me right for the rest of the day. I know it's that thing. What was the guy who did a whole video or like whole interview or speech about making the bed? It's just it's such a simple task, but you just feel such a sense of accomplishment because you've done that thing. So I think so. That's one thing, is remembering the state of mind that I will be in afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, it's never a bad idea to exercise. You will never ever regret it. Sometimes I think, like I was speaking to so Ryan, and then there's another Like Louise partner. Both of them, they're both male.
Okay.
And about this idea of having a role model or someone that you look up to, and I think boys strangely tend to have it more than girls.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have one, and they said you should really find someone that you do look up to and that you can learn from. And so since they mentioned that, there is actually a girl who I think is so fabulous. She's really small as well.
Right.
She's really strong. I follow her on Instagram. She does like crazy pull-ups and backflips, and she doesn't have a typical like really desirable modelly body.
Yeah.
But she's so cool.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I'll think of her and I'll think, okay, what would she do? She dedicates a lot to achieving what she wants. Yeah. So just finding someone that you're inspired by.
Okay.
And thinking of them.
If I'm having a bit of a down day, it's probably worse because I follow the Like Louise program. But if I'm like, I don't know if I can be bothered, and as you do, you kind of go on your phone and you scroll up. I go on Instagram, obviously some of the first people to come up are you and Ryan. And if I'm kind of like go on your Instagram story or see your feed and you're doing some kind of workout or at the gym, especially Ryan's always posted about going to the gym and stuff. I think, I should really go.
So it's good then to follow people that do.
Exactly.
Yeah, if that works for you, that's good.
People that are doing it. I follow loads of people now because I did CrossFit for a little while. And
I need to get into that. I know I'm going to love
it. It's because weights is just, I'm not cardio girl. I hate it.
I'm weights.
I hate it.
Well, that's another thing. Like, obviously, it's not how to get motivated, but do the things that you love.
Yeah.
Because any exercise is better than no exercise, even if it's 5 minutes of an ab routine on the floor. Like, it doesn't have to be long.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Because, I mean, best to follow the program. The program is supposed to be something that's motivational anyway, because if you stick to it, it's nice to have a guide. I don't have a lot of structure in my life as it is.
Yeah.
My life is all over the place. No 2 days are the same. So I like to follow something, but if I'm really not up to doing that, then just doing something small is better than nothing. I find the group motivating.
Yeah, same.
I find it really motivating. And when I set myself a challenge, you need to tell me what my next challenge should be. Say I'll do like just leg exercises for the next week.
Yeah.
And then I know I have to get up an extra half an hour early to film it in the garden.
Yeah.
And I've just got to get it done, because if you hold yourself accountable, if you tell someone you're going to do something, then you have to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't really have a choice.
No, and that's why my Instagram and my YouTube is also a massive motivator to myself, because if I said, I'm going to do a fitness video for my next YouTube, I'm going to upload it next week, I don't have to say that at the end of my last video, but that means that week I have to go up and I have to do it. I remember it was the worst mistake I ever made, but I said, I'm going to do like an arm and abs workout, and the whole week I was putting it off, and I was like, I really don't want to do it. But once you put it out there, you can't take it back, and I just had to do it.
That's such a good thing, a commitment that you've made. And once you say it, you do have to do it.
Yeah.
You should be proud of that.
Thank you. Well, it's the
sometimes it is really hard. Like, why do we push stuff back? There are certain things that I always push to the back of the pile, and I'll do something really boring. I'll be like, I'm gonna sit down and do 2 hours of accounting and like really get to grips with zero and watch loads of YouTube videos and like do all of it myself when I could just pay an accountant instead of doing the exercise that I don't want to do.
5 minutes. Oh, exactly. So you've talked about kind of your life before you started making fitness a thing and how it was unhealthy and everything like that. And then you've talked about your life when you got really into fitness and it became just a part of your life. But what I actually haven't heard you talk about is any kind of struggles you had in between that journey. So obviously you met Ryan as your personal trainer, and obviously you first met him just as your personal trainer in that transition. What did you kind of struggle with? Like, were there days where you wanted to like message Ryan and be like, I can't make today's session, or did you end up going on some nights out that you told yourself you weren't going to do? You know, like the normal stuff that I still find now hard to say no to if I'm like, oh, you know, just do it. And I know it's all about balance and stuff, but you said you made a really big transition in a really short amount of time. Is that because you just got really focused and did it? Or did you have a few weeks or a month or even intervals of just being like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this?
Aside from the fitness stuff, for me, I've always been a real people pleaser, a bit of a sheep, and someone that just gets told what to do and just like nodded in my head. And that was easy because I was just doing the show and that worked.
Yeah.
But even in relationships. So I've never broken up with anyone before. I've always just pushed and pushed and pushed and then been dumped. And when I said, I don't like to like hurt people, but I knew I had to do it, and that was the first time in my whole life, which is crazy, that I've properly said no, this isn't right, and made a change because it was for me, and been selfish about something. And I found it really hard. But from that moment onwards, I started actually learning the power of saying no, and I started saying no, you know, if I was told to do something or say something with filming or other aspects, or even jobs that came in through my agency. And I gained so much more power and control and independence, and I started kind of focusing on what I wanted. And I don't know whether everyone's the same and it's just a sort of mid-20s thing that happens, but yeah, so that made a big difference and kind of definitely helped me with what happened when I met Ryan. So I met Ryan, and he is incredibly dedicated to fitness. I think for him, he feels very weird and uncomfortable when he doesn't train. But the thing about Ryan is he's very different to me in the sense that it's funny, I'm going to call him selfish, but he's also very selfless in terms of how he gives a lot to people. But he prioritizes himself and his own body. He's not going to put that at detriment. Just to like please other people and to entertain other people. So he really taught me self-love. He was like, you shouldn't be going out and partying and drinking to entertain other people that don't really care about you. He showed me he really opened my eyes to a different way of thinking. And I think that is important in the fitness journey because you kind of need to, a lot of it is mental. Like a lot of it is mental resilience. I'd kind of ended this chapter of my life that was really rubbish. I'd said no to loads of stuff and I was ready to start again. And he was just such a good support system and like just so motivating. That stage was quite easy, funnily enough. And because we really were in it together, and he was my wingman, and then we fell in love, and then we were best friends, and we were also training, and we were videoing it, and it was tons of fun. But then I think the harder part came afterwards, which was when we realised that it just wasn't productive for both of us to spend so much time together. We needed to work. We couldn't just train all the time. We needed to be adult about it. And so I didn't really have him anymore, and I really had to find the motivation to do it myself. For ages though, I did not go out and go wild and party, but honestly before this transformation. So they're definitely, I think then more recently the struggle probably about a year ago was kind of realising this is my life, I'm going to spend my life with Ryan, great, yay, we're engaged, like that's really exciting, but it's the scary thing of like entering your 30s and realigning your priorities And for me, I am a social person, so I need to make sure that I can go out with my friends and have a good time and not completely abstain from alcohol, but also not get really wrecked.
Yeah.
I have 12 weddings this year, so I've been to 3, and it's about being able to do that every weekend, have loads of fun,
Yeah.
but not taking it too far.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I mean, obviously I have times where I will drink too much, I'll come back, and then the next day I will eat really unhealthily.
Yeah.
But I know that it's a one-off,
Yeah.
and it's not happening all the time. It used to happen all the time.
Yeah.
The point of being in better shape is to make you more happy and to be able to live like freer.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously confidence. But it should be more about the way that you feel as opposed to the way that you look.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I do it. It's not about the way I feel. Like when I was working towards my bikini body, for that bikini body for me isn't necessarily what would be a bikini body for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I use the phrase in a very different way to the way you normally use it, to look perfect. But my way is just you feeling comfortable in a bikini yourself, in your own body. And that's really important, that everyone knows their body's different. They don't have to look like someone they follow on Instagram to feel good. I know you like podcasts and books and things. They're a big thing for you, and it's something that's really big at the moment as well. So one thing I've found recently is I've had like a couple of down days. I'm having a job transition at the moment, which is making me feel a bit about my career. I usually have a plan, and like you, I need something to follow to make something happen, and that's in every aspect of my life. It's scary. It's like, am I doing the right thing and stuff? So I come home and I have so much to do, and I just have a bit of a, what's the right thing for me? I kind of need to sit down and have like a mental clear out. Are there any podcasts or books that you recommend that are really good for just kind of having advice on how to get through stress and anxiety to help you focus on goals and stuff when you get a bit lost?
So, I have a few of my favourite podcasts, and to be honest, I don't like to stray too far from them anyway, because I don't want to be too jumbled.
Yeah.
Because I'm someone that doesn't have this structure, and I don't need any more jumble in my brain. One that I'm really enjoying at the moment is Live Better, Feel Better, Live More.
Okay.
And it's by this guy called Dr. Chatterjee. Dr. Chatterjee.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
Okay.
And he's a doctor. He interviews a different person in every episode, and it's all to do with health, well-being. A lot of it is mental health. It's actually more mental health than physical. He doesn't really talk about exercise that much. He talks a little bit about nutrition, but it's a science. He's obviously science-based, but he understands actually now that doctors need to be understanding more like lifestyle factors and other things too. So that's actually really interesting. There's one that I really like that's a businessy one, which is how I built this, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So they interview basically the CEOs of companies. It could be like a small startup, or it could be Airbnb, something hugely successful, even like a lot of different companies, Netflix, all the big names. And then they'll do ones that are kind of about, say, Nike versus Adidas. It's very informative. So that is really, really good. It's quite reassuring to hear that a lot of hugely successful people have had a lot of ups and downs in a very volatile life.
Definitely.
People normally always have had a huge stint of failure before they pick things up again. You need that shock to the system.
Exactly, you need that motivation.
So actually a friend of mine called Venetia Faulkner, she's really into sustainability. She's also a vegan, which I'm not. And I could do a lot more to be sustainable, but she's very pro that, and she does one called Talking Taste Buds. She gets some really fun guests. Again, it will be like maybe that one is quite food based. So it will be, she'll travel to Ireland and interview, I don't know, brothers who have set up like a really successful food distribution company, but mainly vegetarians and vegans. And then so a really like nice fun one is the High Low, which is really great. So it's weekly, and Dolly Alderton is one of the presenters on it. She actually used to write for Made in Chelsea, so she was one of those kind of story writers. Really, really intelligent journalist, and she does it with her friend Pandora, and they talk about all of the weekly current affairs, but in a really funny way. and it's very good for girls in their mid-20s, I'd
Yeah.
say. All of my friends love it. So that's good, just to take your kind of distract your mind from the hecticness of everyday life. Another nice lifestyle-y one is, well, a sort of health and well-being one is fun cottons. That's very popular.
Yeah, okay.
Have you listened to that?
No, I've seen it though.
It's
I've been
really
meaning
good.
to. I need to make time.